I'm saying you have poor contributors applying to you, they can't get it, but then the church just walk in over there and get it.
Matter quickly escalated.
They told me to cease operation, tell me that they are going to seize my equipment. They had no legal grounds on which to do that. They talked about food handlers.
Under the Public Health Food Handling Regulations 26(1), and I quote, "No person, including an operator, shall be employed or assist in a food handling establishment unless he is the holder of a food handler's permit." And
welcome back, mankind, to Mosiah Art News and Reviews. Now, today we have two breaking topics we want to cover, and I think the people them need to listen keenly, mankind. Open up in the ears and listen, because when you have a good business idea, it's only fair for you to approach it with due diligence. Because sometimes when you have a good idea, some big man up top who have political links and connection and affiliation, just want to hear your idea, And because them have the strength and the money and the links, them capitalize on it. Now, if you start off without go through Freedom Channel by any means necessary, they must try them utmost best to get rid of your out of business. And that's when we feel like exactly happened to this social media vlogger, businessman who in charge of the new vending machine will distribute Popeyes chicken and KFC. And also, mankind, we're going to touch on the topic of church getting access benefits from the National Housing Trust without contributing $1, without having a TRN, because we all know the church doesn't pay tax. So there's no way, shape, or form the church would have in their position like a TRN number that's assigned to that specific institution. They don't show any form of National Housing Trust contribution. And what Owens is saying right now is that him ease up, it make it more flexible due to the fact that Hurricane Melissa has messed up Jamaica. It make it so flexible for contributors to like go in and get a loan. No matter how small it is, them say basically you have to get a loan as long as you contribute. Now we have this big discussion with this part of committee, PAAC, whatever they want for name, and they're debating on the fact as to why is it the church get access to take money from NHT and a regular person cannot do so. Make this make sense. Listen.
Wanted a follow-up, Mr. Warmington.
Yeah, Mr. Miller mentioned the issue that only contributors can apply for assistance for reconstruction and development as such, the hurricane damage. You're saying only contributors?
Or their immediate families?
Contributors or the immediate. Then I'm curious then. The church is not a contributor. So, on what basis, how would you assess their application for loans and understand they're supposed to apply to housing trust for loans? And if they are not contributors, how do you assess them and approve such application when you are telling us now that only contributors can apply? In what category? How do you assess that? And they're not contributors?
Mr. Chair, have in place is a facility that will allow, so you have churches that are member of a larger umbrella. So, for example, take the Baptists. So the Baptists could apply for a loan, provide us with the necessary security. As we all know, they own a lot of land. We have found in the past.
No, I'm not clear. Is that for residential development you're talking about, where they're acting as developers, or it's for the church's own facilities? I think Mr. Warmington wants to know.
Yes.
In what capacity is the church benefiting if they are not a contributor and NHG was set up to serve contributors?
It is not correct to say the church is not a contributor.
No. Just a minute. Point of order. Correction. Can you provide evidence in this to this meeting that churches have been contributing to housing trust? How church going to contribute to housing trust? My brother, hold on. Mr. Miller. How can the church contribute? The church has never contributed a dime. What social security TRN they use?
Mr. Chairman.
No, what TRN they use to make that contribution? They don't.
Mr. Chairman.
Period. No, they don't. Please, Mr. Miller. The issue, you said that you don't know what specific I'm talking about. An announcement was just made last week. The provisions are made for them to get concessional loan from you. And their contributors who have applied to housing trusts cannot get loans because they don't have enough points. They don't have enough points, so they can't get it. So how do you find the points for the church? How do you arrive at that? I don't want you about institution and, umbrella church or Baptist or what have you. I don't, because I'm saying the church can apply for loans based on their financial status, because the last report showed that the churches have more than $2 billion in account. And they have vast acreage of lands. They can apply against that. And don't dip into what you have that is there for contributors. You have one church in Spanish Town, the Philippa Baptist Church. The last financial report showed they have more than $70 million in their account. One single Baptist church in Spanish Town, Philippa Baptist Church. So what I'm saying, you have poor contributors applying to you, they can't get it, but then the church just walk in over there and get it. I'm saying that what needs to be done now, your board needs to change the rule that every contributor should be able to walk through the doors of housing trust to apply for a loan without any assessment of qualification if the church can do it without being qualified, based on the record that you now have. So the point system must be eliminated now to justify what you're doing.
Mr. Chairman, can I respond?
Yes, you can respond.
If we were to look at the facilities that are in place to treat with this initiative as it relates to Melissa recovery, one of the first things that was made clear is that there are certain contribution requirements that would be relaxed for the individual. So for example, one requirement is that your contribution ought to be current. It was made clear. And
your contribution ought to be?
Current. Meaning,
current,
yes.
Okay.
It was made clear that that would be relaxed. So then we get back to the whole issue. Once you're an NHD contributor, you are qualified for a loan. The issue that we tend to miss is the amount of loan that you are qualified for. It may not necessarily be sufficient to do what you want to do. But any contributor who walks into NHD now, they are qualified for a loan. The only question is the amount. Any contributor that is current, but under the Melissa relief, we relax the section to treat with you being current. And
right.
That's the reason why we were able to say, once you have contributed to the National Housing Trust, then you can benefit.
Okay, we understand that though, but I think it's a different point. Mr. Wallington is making. But before you follow up though, I'm trying to understand myself, because I think Mr. Wallington caught up news release that I didn't. What is the provision that the NHT has under this Melissa recovery for churches?
All right, I could go over this again now, mankind. Let me just reiterate a little bit so people can really overs what really and truly are going, mankind. Seriously. So they're saying that Holness announced the other day, last week, say, I'm going to make provision and put some form of flexibility as regards to NHG and who affected by Hurricane Melissa can get loan, right? Now we know church affected, school, home, people shop, business, everything, right? So what Wilmington is trying to get at now, and me telling the people, say him and Bunting, you know, a two politicians, we know all politicians are be a corruption, all of them, right? But in instant like this, I think we need to kind of applaud them, because really and truly, I can see whereby both of them is on the same page, or Bunting try to get on the same page with Wilmington and say, because there's questions I need to ask. NHG over the years always been the cash cow. That's when the government broke, everybody broke the money in their pocket and run got dip some money out of it, because NHG, remember mankind, this is a statutory deduction where I come out to your salary. Whether you have a house, yes or no. Whether you benefit, yes or no. Education tax, NHG, them think that those are statutory deduction. After come out to your money, you can't stop it, right? So, me feel like it's only fair for people to benefit A lot of people paying NHG over the years, 30, 40 years through them tenure working and everything, and what happened? Them still don't have a house, them still can't get a benefit because them have this whole point system and all them like a slackness there, where they cause be a problem. As I hear Wilmington mention, them need to get rid of that. Right now, owners put some form of flexibility where it's concerned, where people can get money, right? If memory serves them right, them say them have a flexibility upon it. If you listen to the video back. Where you must be a scholar now, Wilmington has said the church, they need to explain what type of provision made for the church and how the church benefit and why regular people cannot benefit. What he's saying is that the church fall under some form of umbrella and church have own assets in terms of land and building, whatever structure they may have in place, fixed assets. Them use that to borrow money against the assets, you understand? So what the church basically do, according to them now, the church have, then get the provision and can use them building and all them things and get loan. You understand? But in a honest speech, him never be specific. It was a little bit vague because there's a lot of question than answer, you understand? And these are some of the reasons why we have to commit to them. People ask and be fear and put politics to one side and ask the question as to why this happened and how this happened and how we are going to solve the problem. Because everything will have a ripple effect and we're going to get affected in the future somewhere or how. You understand? So basically, the church can use that and get money from the NHG. But the problem I have now, being as so the flexibility is there, and I think we'll get rid of the point system. What about the regular farmer, man? Right? Because the church, I look on the church cash going and watch the church flowing, the cash flowing, and say exactly how the money run before them determine how much money to give the church, you know. You have a lot of farmer man out there. I mean, they might go market every Saturday, make their money, and all them go thing there. Do we have anything, any provision for them can get money and benefit from NHG? What about people at them shop? What about people at them make a small house and them want to get a loan from NHG? But them want to play part-time, like them work for 6 months and them lay off or them not work or boss fire them or whatever it may be and them jump back or whatever. Is there a system whereby them can pay money to keep them thing current and just say, listen, I need a money for buy a piece of land or a house or something like that? You understand? Because that's going to be our next issue too, you know. Because them say the payment have to be current. I mean, up to date. Or them use to measure that. Since you start work, or your payment have to be up to date for the whole entire year. Up to now, presently now. Like your last payment have to be last week or last month or whatever it may be. You understand? There's a lot of questions I need to ask. But my problem is that the regular person, John Public, need to have some form of flexibility as regard to NHG so them can get the benefit. Now people, NHG, some people might say, boy, the payment, this and that and all them things there. But one good thing I can tell them about NHG, a lot of people bypass, NHG have this thing they call peril insurance, right? Based on memory serve me right, I don't know if them still have it right now, but I think they should. You understand? Because we know people pay a mortgage right now and still benefit from it. Now, the peril insurance that protect you from natural disaster. Now, a lot of houses in St. Louis will get damaged. If those houses were NHG houses, if they make provision or for easy access to people get benefit from NHG, most of those people would have NHG loan right now and them not cover under the peril insurance. What happened right now, you have a disaster, NHG then compensate them back every cent for build back them house from where it was. You understand? Before you get damaged. So that's important of it, and the NHG is a cash cow people, and me nah like, honestly, I Mr. Wilmington them man, the people them not really too like really and truly, but I like the question them I ask, I like the point them I bring across, and I like the facts of the two politicians from opposite side come together in one common cause for the benefit of the people of Jamaica, the regular people, not just high society people. We are talking about regular people, mankind. I like this. I like the forward thinking. I like the idea so the two politicians then put politics to one side and try to solve the problem. What's your thought? Leave your thought in the comment section. Up next, this small business entrepreneur start a real multi-million-dollar business. It's a very good idea. And you're going to listen, mankind. see how the system are treat him. And remember, bear this in mind. The man with the idea never had the money, and the man with the money never had the idea. Look and learn.
Health Department is investigating the closure of Zoob's food vending machine in Spanish Town. TVJ News understands that the facility was forced to halt operations by the police less than a week after it began operating. The vending machine was offering fast food items from select brands, including KFC and Popeyes, Jamaica.
January 9, 2026, exactly 1 week ago, the day TVJ News first visited Soup's vending machine in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Instead of pushing out snacks, this one dispenses fast food. A welcome for customers who oftentimes have to endure long lines at the restaurants.
You look interested and more of you see if it real, and I purchase it. A 2-piece with drinks, cold drinks, and the meal is hot and tastes nice. No, it's a very good thing. Sometimes you go down at the place them to buy food and it's full.
But that convenience may be short-lived, as owner Milton Ray says he's now being pushed out of business.
Well, I was visited by a group of police personnel. They came from the Constant Spring operations unit, and they came here apparently on a fishing expedition. They didn't seem to know exactly what they came about. I kept asking what they're investigating.
He said the matter quickly escalated.
They told me to cease operation, tell me that they're going to seize my equipment. They had no legal grounds on which to do that. They talked about food handlers.
Under the Public Health Food Handling Regulations 26(1), and I quote, "No person, including an operator, shall be employed or assist in a food handling establishment unless he is the holder of a food handler's permit," end quote. Mr. Ray insists food safety requirements were not ignored.
The person who is responsible for loading the machine was in fact in train with her food handlers. I pointed out to the policemen that the health department does in fact allow persons to work with the receipt pending the granting of the actual food handler's permit. The police wouldn't have it. They said, no, nothing can go so.
TVJ News was unsuccessful in our attempts for a comment from the Constant Spring police station, but the St. Catherine Public Health Department says the matter is being investigated. In statements, both KFC and Popeyes, Jamaica, said they are aware of the vending machine operating in Spanish Town, but stressed they are not operated, endorsed, or affiliated with the companies. There are also concerns about the legality of purchasing prepared food and reselling it in Jamaica.
The reselling of pre-prepared food in Jamaica is not illegal. And this is something that we have been doing from time immemorial. Schools do it every day, supermarkets do it, and some establishments do it. What is the main issue is whether or not the food is safe for consumption. Because when you're talking about food, you have to bear in mind that there are public health standards that a business establishment or a supplier of food has to comply with.
However, Mr. Shaw says,
branding is very important, and so a business is going to try to protect its trademark. And I think that's what KFC is doing here. And it can take actions with respect to the Fair Competition Act.
This venture, according to Mr. Ray, was a multi-million-dollar investment, though customers only paid a $300 markup.
There's a freezer that freezes food at the required temperature, and it's a special kind of freezer. It's not the same freezer that you have at home.
And although the simple grab turned into a hard stop, he had great plans for the business.
Right now, we're looking for equity partners because we want to make this as ubiquitous as the automated teller machines.
Deidre Thomas, TV.
Alright, mankind, when you follow me right now, Zin, bear this in mind. The man with the idea, or the man with a lot of ideas, business ideas, don't normally have the money. And the man with the money don't have a lot of business idea, right? You see, we reach this manner now, it a come from up top. It can affect it. I mean, KFC and everybody can, try, bombard him and say, listen, my man, listen, I like when money I make money from my thing, you understand? But remember, we have the fear competition acting, you understand? You them thing kind of against the whole, what I'm calling now, monopoly thing, like, so a man feel like them alone, feel the business. Nobody else can benefit, you understand? Yeah, that basically the act that is there for. Can do some research on it, and if you start a business, it's good for kind of do some research on it, on the Fair Competition Act. You understand? So for me personally, as I say, the man with the idea don't have the money, the man with the money don't have the idea. Now, as somebody in high society, only God can tell me otherwise, we definitely see this idea, know this is a multi-million-dollar idea, and want to capitalize on this. So I always say, as I said in the intro before, when you have a good business idea, approach it with due diligence, do your thorough research. Don't rush into it. Don't delay, if you understand what I mean. You understand? Because I can tell you this. If you have the good idea and branch off with it, you just need the wrong person with the money to see what I go and have connection. And then push on one side and take it. Check the history. A lot of this innovator we got in a book or read about who invent this and that. A lot of them is just a friend or somebody who them know. And them copy the idea and run with it because they have the money and the resource to do it. Now this time when I get a fight, this is bigger than regular police come check about food anglers permit, because police should know that, so you can have the food anglers permit receipt and still operate as having a food angler's permit. The only problem I think you can do it over a short period of time, but remember if for 3 or 6 months or whatever, leave in the comment section who have more knowledge. But you still can angle food with the receipt. You understand? Yeah, you still definitely can angle. So police are madness, obviously they don't really know the law and don't know him about. So as I say, when they see it like that, it's just somebody to come from in high places. It's a very good idea, people. And they show me say Jamaican, I don't know if you realize what I'm going, Jamaican changing slowly but surely. These are forward-thinking ideas. I think a time for stop down and gossip with other people and start with some deep reasoning with yourself, some nice introspection, and look into yourself and come up with some ideas. Forward thinking, take it out of the little small box. I like this idea, mankind. What's it all? Leave it in the comment section. Do you think it's KFC fighting this man? Or Popeyes? Or just a man with the money in a high society want to take him space? Or probably approach him to invest and then him neglect it? Because sometimes that's the case too, Yeah, anyway, mankind, big up on yourself. Have a wonderful day. Remember to like the video, share the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. One love.